Here's a new place. Let's see how it is. Gonna be talking growth mindset. Why can't we all just get along? Okay, so when I go to cafes and I like eating at cafes, as you can see, I always go for the classic. Like, they got a lot of other things, like even Benedict's, and then a certain type of omelet can be comparable at different places, but I always go with the traditional. In this case, it's called the All-American breakfast, but it's what's known as the traditional. 2 eggs, a meat, hash browns, and then you get like a toast or something, and then that's how I measure the quality and the style of food that a cafe is going to be making. And so I'll show you some footage when my food comes. Okay, so you know, this is the traditional breakfast. In case you're trying to do the cafe thing, this is what it looks like. It's very basic, but I think that you can really measure cafes, you know, how they make and prepare and like bring your order out by ordering this plate. And Rick, good morning, Rick.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning.
You got almost the same thing, except you made a better choice here, and I made this choice. But yeah, here you go. I'll let you know how it tastes so far. Okay, here's what we're doing today. We are going to be recording with this camera. It is a Sony CyberShot AVC HD 18.2 megapixel. Very simple, good camera. But for today, let's give this guy a go. So here we go. Here's the switch. All right, so typically this is what I record with, and this is this adapter for my gimbal. There will be no gimbal on this camera today. I'm going to be using possibly this or my Joby. I think I'm going to go visit the Carter Museum or something, but I'm going to just do some outdoor footage and just talk about this camera, and then obviously a lot of what I'm going to learn about this camera is going to happen. And so in post edit, we're going to see how this camera works, but I'm about to take it out. I don't know, this is just a bit cumbersome. But I mean, I don't know, it could work, but I think I'm just going to stick with this right here. Also, for those that like reading books, I got this recommended to me by 2 friends, and I'm starting on it now. It's good so far. And so I'm packing up my gear. I'm gonna go do a shoot with this camera. Whoa, right there. And so what's the point? To prove that it isn't, I mean, the camera, the quality, all of that is important, but it's the content that's important. So you should be able to, whatever it takes to get your message out there. Don't let equipment hinder you getting what you want to say out to the world. And here's the other thing. It's a different type of screen. It's a different way that it filters. Shut this thing down. Boop, there we go. But I'm curious. I'm curious how this is going to, see, like right there. The focus is a bit slow, but that's okay. But that's because it's on autofocus. There we go. You know, we start seeing a few things that could be a little better. Yeah, and so whenever and look, you can see how the office looks. I've done a lot of these shots with the other camera. Right now what I did was I flipped the screen down and I'm just looking into the camera because I tend to look up when I shouldn't look up, and so then it makes for weird footage. But understand your equipment and your capabilities, because sometimes you're not going to have access to everything that you need. You're not going to have the right mic or camera, or if you haven't even started, you're going to say, well, I want a $3,000 camera to get started, and that's what's going to keep you from getting started. And so You know, my thing is like, just get going, that you can do it because of when and how you started. And so that's kind of what I want to touch on today is, so yeah, I just want to see how it looks with this, what's the difference, and to know that I have more options than just one. All right. So the Amon Carter Museum is here in Fort Worth. It's a great museum. There it is. Philip Johnson, if you're curious, is the architect. So today I had a sit down with a friend of mine, and he's working on, he has a great story, great career path, and he's working on his speaking career. So we were just brainstorming about the process and what's needed to get closer, you know, to landing the first speaking engagement and then getting booked over and over and over and over. And it's a challenging thing. You know, you think about all these people that are out there. I mean, I've heard of speakers making 100,000. I mean, obviously these are somewhat famous people, but you know, there's a whole industry that's wide open, that gives people with a great story and a great message an opportunity to speak and make that their living. And so we were just talking about it and I was just seeing what I can do to help them. You'll be seeing him on the channel more and more as we begin to work and develop some ideas that we were talking about. And you know, one of my goals and it's not necessarily a New Year's type resolution, nothing like that. This has just been a long time in the making, I guess. But I've always pictured myself doing, for lack of a better term, motivational speaking. Now, I've done a lot of public speaking in my life. I spoke to many people of all ages, and I like it. Like, that's what I've developed in my whole journey. Let me zoom, a little zoom. Look at this. There we go. You can see what kind of day it is today. Whoa, I'm still zoomed in. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, and so that's one of my goals, is to be a public speaker, to share my story all the way from the podcast to the vlog to the things I've been through, and just put it out there. Hopefully people can find inspiration in my journey to help out their journey. And so that's something I'm going to be working on behind the scenes. There's the official name. Look at this. Okay, so the stone they use, not this stone, this is like marble. But what I'm going to do is walk up to this stone. And it comes from a Texas quarry. I mean, this Texas used to be underwater. But look, watch. See that? Yes, my friend. These are seashells. And very much Texas. You know, down to the stone. But this is the side entrance. You can go to the museum through here. No problemo. Cool sign. Museum shop. Look at this mezzanine. Same stone. A Gabriel Dow sculpture. Look at this staircase. I've always liked this staircase. Look how it looks. Looks very cool. Gonna do a little walkthrough, coming in the side entrance and then going out the front entrance of the museum. And they got this grand hallway when you come in, and it's a bit of an incline, but it's pretty cool. They always have cool art right here. But here we go. You get to see kind of the arches right here, made out. Look at this. See, I'm going to showcase the stone again, but you can see the arches, and then there I am right there. But look at that. It looks very cool. There's the view of Fort Worth. Let me zoom in. I can't really do this zoom and zoom out thing with my phone, which that's a feature that I really like so far. Well, here is the front of the building. Yeah, and so we were talking about what my friend needs to do to reach that goal. Maybe you have that goal. Maybe you can share some of the tips. Maybe you're already speaking. Share some tips with us. Send it DM or just comment below. Any guidance would be appreciated. But that journey starts now. And I will be vlogging the journey from my perspective. And obviously, I don't expect to fail at this goal. If you put your effort towards what you want, and I learned this today, all the way from the subconscious mind to the physical body. If everything's aligned and thinking down the same path, then it becomes easier, because then your mind's not playing tricks on you and telling you you can't. You can reprogram your mind to say you can. And then at that point, just put in some hard work. That's the goal. Let me sit right here for a second. With downtown behind me. So far, we'll see what the footage. Look at that. Art and architecture. This part right here is a sculpture. This is just the base. Down here, that's just the base. But pretty cool view. Okay, so today in my meeting this morning, we were talking about creativity and kind of like activating creativity, nurturing creativity, and I'm learning that a lot of people struggle with being creative, and so I have a unique perspective that I want to share with you to just kind of help you do the creativity that you're thinking, okay? Unless, right, if you want a real reason why not to do it, here's one. You see this building right here? Trust me, the architect that did that, designed it and all that good stuff, I bet he's super creative. The design of that building came from creativity. But the task was so big that the creativity part was so small, and then after that he had to clock in, and then all this work and years and manpower and money, it all had to show up in order for that creativity to come to fruition. And on the other hand, you see this right here? This is art, and that's super creative. Probably people might hit me on for this, but more creative than that. That has parameters and rules. This is your vision, and to get someone like that to believe in something like that, that is hard. That takes a lifetime commitment. But anyways, that's a side note. That's a rabbit trail. So to do something like that, you do have to plan a little bit, but that's creativity right there. And he decided to go for it, make it happen. And so for us, how many excuses will we make as far as like, why can't I do anything with my creativity? Here's the reason. You are being creative, and it's, whoa, there was a bug on me. And you have enough creativity, because even if it's a small idea, you make it feel like it's that big. You make it feel like it's that purposeful right from the beginning, from the get-go, and it's not. You just have to do it. And it could be a small thing, whether it be a sentence for a poem, whether it be the first few lines of a drawing, whether it be the first few shots of a vlog. Don't complicate it. Don't think of your creativity as something like that, you know, that requires so much thinking and planning and all this other stuff, because that will make you doubt your creativity. And at the end of the day, if you look at everything like that, or like that, or like that, you're not going to do anything, and you're going to say, where is my creativity? I need to use it. I need to develop it. Well, it's there. And even if it's a silly creative idea, even if you're not creating the idea, write the idea down. And that's the first steps in activating that muscle, is don't complicate it. It's already there. You're either going to do what you're thinking, or you're going to write down what you're thinking, so that you don't lose that thought, so you can remember, this is what I was thinking, and this is why. And that's valuable in itself. And so that's how you develop that muscle. I don't know if I was recording in the wrong setting. I may have, but it's okay. But so far, the functionality of this camera it's great. It's got a lot of things going on the screen, and we'll see how the audio and everything plays out. It's a little windy out there as I was walking, and it has two microphones on top right here, but it's not directional. It doesn't have a microphone jack, and so you know you sacrifice a few things when you don't have that. But I imagine it should be just fine. And so today, that's what we're talking about. Just so I know, it seems a little scattered, but it's trying out different equipment, being comfortable with stepping out of what you're used to, because you just might have to one day when you break or lose, or you have to switch equipment, because it's not about the equipment. It's important, don't get me wrong, but it's about the content. And you got to do what you got to do to continue to produce that content. The other part was, I was just talking about a few goals that I had, and I was talking about creativity and what it takes to be creative. And so we'll keep going with today's vlog. I hope it looks good. I don't know until I start editing. I've always thought that this Mexican candy thing was so funny, because the clown here makes you think the clown inside is gonna have some similar, it's gonna match it somewhat. And then you pull it out, and this is what happens. It's okay. La 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 la. Right, so that is the footage with the Sony camera that I did today, but now I'm about to switch back to what I normally use, just the regular iPhone. So here we go. All right, this is a different shot for me. This is an overhead shot, which is important if you're a vlogger and you're doing reviews. And so I'll show you the tripod another day that I'm doing this with, but I just wanted to show y'all the camera that I did today's vlog with, the CyberShot ABC HD 18.2 megapixels. There's an important number right there, if you can see that. DSC HX80. That's what it looks like. Open, great screen. You just flip it, and then you're in business again. There we go. Whoa, there we go. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I did today. Just tried a different product. I think a different equipment. So that was today's episode. I wanted to introduce the other camera, this camera, so that you can see the difference, and then obviously so that I could learn what it was like to use my Sony camera and to continue to use my iPhone, so that I know the benefits and the comparisons. That way in the back of my head, I'm not saying, should I be using that or not? I got a phone call. I'll be right back. Done. Okay, so thank y'all for watching today. Look at this. See, lighting is so important. It looks so weird, but it's okay. I'm gonna let it be. But there you go. Understand your equipment. Understand what one type of equipment does compared to another. And the best way to do that is to put it to practice, to put it in your hand and use it, figure out if it works for you or not. It's better than trying to figure that out in the moment in an emergency setting because your phone or your camera got wet or it broke and you have to switch to another one and it is completely new to you. Familiarize yourself with what you use, whether it's lighting, mics, cameras, phones, software, all that good stuff. Be ready, be prepared. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog and we'll see you on the next one.